The winds in Cleveland aren't just shifting, they're blowing loud enough that you can't pretend not to hear them. There's a player quietly being lined up to leave, a contract decision that's got half the league raising eyebrows, and a draft prediction that could blow up every single expectation we had for the 2025 season. But hold up, this isn't all panic. There are some hidden details in this story that most people are overlooking, and they could flip the script entirely. So buckle up. This isn't one of those lukewarm updates. This is a gut punch, a wake-up slap, and a serious question to your football soul. Will this franchise hold the line, or are we staring at a full-blown implosion? Hit that like, get comfortable, and let's walk straight into the storm. Take a look at the Browns' running back room right now, and on paper, things don't look so bad. Sure, the Nick Chubb era is officially over, but the team went aggressive in the draft, bringing in guys like Quinshon Judkins and Dylan Sampson, young, explosive, and hungry to prove something. Jerome Ford's still in the building too, with some RB1 experience under his belt. But you know who's also still hanging around, quietly fading into the shadows? Pierre Strong Jr., That's where the whispers start getting louder. According to Davon Platana from Factory of Sadness, Pierre Strong is one of the top names on the potential trade list heading into training camp. And it's not just empty speculation, it actually adds up. Strong managed just 391 rushing yards and 1 touchdown in his first year with the Browns. In 2024, even worse, only 108 total yards. Little production, little trust, little room to breathe. Now that the rookies are in and Ford's sticking around, here's the harsh reality. There's just no guaranteed spot left for Strong in Cleveland. The financials don't help him either. Trading him would instantly free up $1.1 million in cap space, and for a team that might need some flexibility down the stretch, that's significant. But here's the question nobody really wants to say out loud. Who's trading for Pierre Strong right now? That's where things get uncomfortable. The RB market is ice cold. Teams don't want to drop real money on backs with thin resumes. If nobody bites, the most likely outcome? A straight up cut. No deal, no fanfare, just gone. And trust me, the locker room feels that. Moves like this send a message. When a guy who's been part of the rotation gets labeled expendable, the rest of the room takes notice. Every snap becomes a job interview. That pressure, it even lands on the rookies. Judkins and Sampson are walking into a fire pit. They've got to deliver fast because his rotation is getting tighter by the day. Now think about the ripple effect. If Strong's out, that opens up reps, which could speed up the development of the rookies. It might also give Ford a clear lead role, but it also creates a gap if someone gets hurt. We all know how brutal the running back position is when it comes to injuries. Fans split as usual. Some say Strong should have never been brought in. Others argue he never got a real shot. But one thing's clear, the bar in Cleveland is higher now, and if you're not meeting the pays, you're gone.
And guess what? That's not even the most controversial move we're dealing with. Because while the RB situation brews, there's a quiet storm building across the league. And, surprise, surprise, the Browns are right in the middle again. Remember the league-wide shock when Cleveland handed Deshaun Watson that fully guaranteed deal? It turned the NFL upside down, sparked debates on every podcast, and gave team owners across the country a massive headache. Well, guess who just ran that play again? Only this time with a rookie. Linebacker Carson Schwezinger, taken in the second round, just inked a fully guaranteed 4-year contract. That's right, a second-round pick. Not a first, getting a deal structure usually reserved for top-tier talent. Even by itself, that's a bold move. But the real issue? It's already spreading. You know why? Because the Houston Texans gave the same deal to Jaden Higgins, drafted right after Schwezinger. And the Browns, not wanting to lose ground, matched it. What that did was crack the market wide open. Now, second-rounders across the board are holding out, demanding the same treatment. And one of those players? None other than Quinshon Judkins. Yeah, the same guy Browns fans are counting on to reshape the ground game. Still hasn't signed. And the reason probably ties directly to this. The baseline shifted. Fully guaranteed contracts used to be rare after round one. Now, they're bargaining chips. And whether you love it or hate it, this all started with Cleveland. Team owners are fuming because this puts every other front office in a bind. Every second-round rookie walks in now pointing at Schwezinger's deal saying, "Where's mine?" This is a real shift. It changes how GMs draft, reshapes cap strategies. It could even affect league culture. Cleveland is rewriting the rules, and they didn't ask for permission. But when you challenge the NFL system, the blowback is real. On the field, the consequences can snowball. What if Judkins delays his signing for weeks, misses critical camp time, starts the year buried on the depth chart? It's all possible, and the front office knows it. But there's a strategy here, too. The Browns want to brand themselves as a forward-thinking franchise, one that rewards its players early. That could attract talent down the road. But there's a political price. And if this becomes the norm, we could see a Cold War ignite between team owners and players, with Cleveland right in the center. Fans? They're mixed. Some call it gutsy. Others say it's reckless. But nobody's ignoring it. And if you thought that was wild, wait until you hear this next one, because it sounds like a plot from a football dystopia.
The latest mock draft from Pro Football Network just dropped a bomb. They predict the Browns will not only finish 2025 with the worst record in the league, but they'll lock up the #1 pick in the 2026 draft. Rock bottom. Again. And what comes after that might be the craziest part. Despite drafting 2 QBs, Shadir Sanders and Dylan Gabriel, the projection has Cleveland passing on both, starting fresh. Again, this time with Fernando Mendoza out of Cal, a guy who's not exactly a household name yet, but might be by next April. The logic? Big arm, athletic traits, untapped upside. But hold up! What about the project? What about the rookies you just brought in? What about the whole rebuild you sold us? If this scenario plays out, it's a full detonation. Stefanski? Gone. Andrew Berry? Gone. New coaching staff, new philosophy, hitting reset again. And that's what stings most. Browns fans have seen this movie. The twist now, it stars new faces and fresh promises. And still, the ending looks painfully familiar. The mock draft also highlights names like Caden Proctor and Denzel Boston, suggesting there could be value in other picks. But that's not the point. The big question is, how do you whiff that badly, that fast, with back-to-back QB investments? And that's not even touching the Deshaun Watson situation. Whispers are growing louder that he might return before the season ends. If he does and plays well, what happens to Sanders, to Gabriel? And if he doesn't, or worse, if he comes back and struggles, then what? It's a tangled mess of decisions with no clear answers. Just more chapters in the never-ending QB saga that's haunted Cleveland for decades. Fans are left spinning. How do you trust any long-term plan when every year feels like a reset button? When the biggest moves of your franchise turn into trade bait before the season even ends? For now, it's just a projection. But in Cleveland, projections hit different. The fact that this is even being floated tells you how little faith the national media has left. And in the middle of it all, you've got to wonder, is there still a real plan? Or are the Browns just trying to put out fires with gasoline?
3 headlines, 3 red flags, a player on the way out, a contract setting off a league-wide domino effect, and a prediction that rips up any notion of stability. But here's the thing. Something still burns strong in this city. The heart of this fan base. Cleveland has survived worse. And yeah, it can turn this pressure into a comeback. The real question is, are we watching another collapse or the beginning of the fight back? And now, it's your turn. What do you think is really driving all this? And no matter what, we keep fighting together.